Going back to the top story, talks between the foreign ministers of India and Benin, which took place in New Delhi. Joining me is Professor Ruchita Beri. Professor Beri is a consultant at the Africa Center of the Manohar Parrikar Institute for Defence Studies and Analyses. It's a state-funded think tank headquartered in New Delhi. Professor Beri, welcome to DD India News Hour. Good to see you. Now, first off, for the benefit of viewers joining us from around the world, can you tell us a bit more about Benin, its geography, politics and people?
Yeah, Benin is a country in West Africa, coastal West Africa in the Gulf of Guinea region. It's a small country and it is seen as a gateway to the landlocked countries like Burkina Faso and Niger. It is a country with whom India has close ties for a long time. We've had several visits from the Benin president in the recent years, and our president also visited Benin in 2019. So India and Benin have close ties in the recent years, and Benin is an important country in West Africa because both India and Benin share similar views in terms of either the reform of United Nations or United Nations Security Council, or the fact that both Benin and India face similar security threats like terrorism. So therefore, the visit of the foreign minister of Benin is an important step for India building up its ties within the West African region and with Benin in particular.
And looking at it from New Delhi's perspective, Professor Beri, now how would you characterize India-Benin ties? I ask you this because India is Benin's largest trading partner, with two-way trade touching $1.3 billion in 2022-23. How did that come about?
Yes, that's a very important fact that we have to note. In a large number of African countries, India's trade has increased in the recent year, and Benin is one of those where India is the largest trading partner. As you are aware, the countries in Africa and West Africa in particular have been wooed by various external partners, whether it's US or China. And given the fact that despite the attempts by various other countries to increase their economic relations with the countries like Benin, it is India which is still the largest trading partner. So which shows that there is a lot of commonality and interest within Benin towards India, and therefore the trade between the two countries is increasing. And I hope this increases in future also, and this upward trend which has been visible in the last decade or so continues to increase.
Indeed, why not? At the same time, Professor Beri, is there scope for India and Benin to do more in third countries in Africa?
Yes, that's what I began by saying, that there are countries in the neighborhood which are landlocked, which are countries like Niger or Burkina Faso, where India and Benin can work together. And unfortunately, these are the countries also where which have seen a rise of militarization, a rise of unconstitutional takeover by the military. But nevertheless, India has had close relations with the other countries in West Africa too, including Niger and Burkina Faso in past, and Benin could serve as a gateway to these countries in opening up further dialogue with these countries. So it is an important partner for India.
And very quickly, if I can quickly follow up, Professor Beri, I mean, am I correct in describing Benin as an oasis of sorts for democracy? I mean, it's one of the most stable democracies in sub-Saharan Africa, given the fact that coups are a recurrent phenomenon in that part of the African continent?
Yeah, it is a stable country. It is a pillar of democracy in the region. But But that is what has been troubling most of the democracies within West Africa. The recent coups in West Africa, in Sahel in particular. There have been 4 coups in the Sahel region since 2020. Last was in Niger, and in the last in the last month or so, we've seen coup attempts in Sierra Leone and another country, so in the region. So that shows that there is a threat towards democracy in the region, or the countries, people in the countries are not satisfied with the democratic governments. They are looking for a change, and unfortunately, the military steps in to fill in that vacuum. So Benin is a pillar of democracy, and so therefore, given the fact that India has been supporting, it is the largest democracy in the world, so we do share this commonality too.
All right, we'll leave it at that. Professor Ruchita Beri, thank you once again for joining us and sharing your thoughts and insights with our viewers at home and abroad. Thank you for your